Hello everyone, and welcome back. So something I haven't seen too much of so far is actual coverage about the information that came out about Season 5 that was released on last week's Below Deck stream. Ghost Ship said they were going to start rolling out feature teasers and videos and stuff, but a lot of that information is already out there and I'd rather not make people wait. So the first thing to go over is the new mission type, which is referred to as Deep Scan. The most interesting thing about the mission I've seen so far is this sort of proxy bar on the HUD that tells you how close you are to the objectives, which I think is a very interesting skill that we're going to learn how to track this and read this meter. So the mission progression goes like this. Follow that bar, dig up this crystal out of the ground, drop in a scanning pod and scan said crystal. According to the devs, there's going to be 3 or more of these, not a decided number yet. Once you've scanned all the crystals, you'll be able to call down a drill-evator, climb onto the drill-evator, and you'll be able to start riding it down towards the Morkite geode. As you do, you'll stop at certain intervals and have to fight bugs, and bugs will continue to pour in while you're going downwards. Once you get into the Morkite geode, you'll be able to collect the Morkite seeds off the wall, and then, once the mission is complete, apparently, you'll be able to collect some new powerful form of jet boots off of the drill-evator and fly directly out of the hole with the presumably infinite flight time. Other than that, there's a new random event, which we don't have much detail about, which is known as core stones. Just based off these screenshots, it does seem like you'll be able to mine them by hand, so it makes me wonder what's going to happen when you do mine it by hand. Maybe it'll teleport to another location in the cave or something. We also have 2 new stationary enemies being added to the game in form of the Barrage Infector, which is sort of like a spitball infector that's going to shoot some sort of time bomb goo pellets at you, as well as the Vartok Scale Bramble, which looks like the latest and greatest from Bad Dragon, so let's not dwell on that too much. And lastly, we have the Stalker, which is a new invisible enemy which is going to flank the dwarves and attack them from behind, disabling your shield and doing damage to you. Now, probably the headline feature for a lot of us is Hazard 5+. Now, once you unlock Hazard 5 and presumably level up a little bit more, there's going to be a new assignment you can take on that will unlock mutators that you can apply to Hazard 5. These being more aggressive enemies, so enemies that attack faster, player vulnerability, which makes you take more damage from everything but fall damage, enemy count, which will obviously just spawn more enemies, and enemy toughness. This is probably the most interesting feature that's being added in my opinion, as the combination of different modifiers trying to bring out different percent bonuses and picking the optimal ones is going to be a very interesting metagaming topic for a while after this comes out. Next, we have a new overclock for every primary weapon in the game, mortar rounds for the Thunderhead, marked for death for the Scout's M1000, Inferno for the flamethrower, and pump action for the Warthog on Engineer are the only 4 that we know so far. I gotta say, all of these seem very interesting, and even if they aren't meta per se, they at least shake up the way the weapons play, especially with the Mark for Death on Scout, and even if they're not the best in slot, I commend them for at least being unique and shaking up the way the weapons play. Finally, reducing the bloat in the cargo crates and lost helmets. All old seasonal content will be able to be enabled through the seasonal menu. Basically meaning, if you want to engage with Season 1's Performance Pass and its climate of missions and enemy presence, you can do that. This means that all of the old Performance Passes will be re-enabled, and all of the items that were previously taken out of them and put into other systems are going to be taken out of those new systems and put back into the Performance Pass. If you have stuff that you've obtained from other systems, you will get to keep it, and going back to the Season 1 Performance Pass will allow you to get anything that you're missing. The armor on Hearthstone is going to have a 3rd attack, so now it has a random selection of attacks, so the armor on Hearthstone fight will always be different. I know I've brought this up a lot of times in the past, so it's great to see. It seems like the attack will be sort of caging a dwarf. And like the devs mentioned on stream, this is the first armor on attack that doesn't pay attention to Doretta and instead focuses on the dwarves. You'll love to see it. There's 4 new mutators to be put on the mission. Positive mutators include blood sugar, which will have your health constantly draining away from you, which can be restored by killing enemies. Also a positive modifier is secret secondaries. It'll give you a secret secondary objective. I'm assuming that it will tell you what this objective is once you get into the mission, but I really hope that I'll see this made as a mod to apply to all missions once this code gets added to the game, because I would really, really like to have more objectives to do in every mission. Ducking cover increases the amount of ranged enemies that spawn, presumably things like web spitters, acid spitters, gooby snooberts, and menaces. As we already have Mactera Plague, I doubt this is going to increase Mactera spawn rates. And finally, Ebonite Outbreak. This will have the stone glyphids from the Pickaxe Sprinkler Machine event spawning in whatever mission is afflicted with this. And finally, we have the new Capstone Promotion Border, which effectively means once you get to Legendary 3 and promote again, you will receive a Legendary Border with 4 stars that will display your total number of promotions on that class on a little screen. Super excited about this. I talked with Mike about this on the Drop podcast, and it's good to see it being implemented in some form in the game. But yeah, that's about all I got for you today. I'll be back around. I have a couple other videos and challenges for non-DRG games that I want to make, but expect to see some stuff from me whenever Season 5 does come out. As always, thank you for watching, and have a nice day. I'm back! You would not believe the line. But I got the milk!